How's it going, guys? My name is Zach with the Movie Castle, and today I'm pretty excited. We're going to be talking about the first issue of a new comic, and that is Dark Ride, issue 1 from Image Comics, written by Joshua Williamson. Joshua Williamson, you know, for a lot of great Image titles. Me in particular, I really liked Nailbiter, so cool to see him doing a new comic. I think the artist and colorist are the same one he worked with on Birthright. Really cool. And this one is about essentially a haunted Disneyland. We get a fun prologue where we see this failed theme park creator in a fit of rage murdered his wife. But when he's burying her on this plot in the middle of nowhere, he hears a mysterious voice coming from the open grave that offers to make him a deal. And we cut to the present where we meet this new happy-go-lucky young kid, and he's really excited to be working at Devilland. And you really get to see, like, it's a really big, well-defined world. Like, they even have a map in the back of all the different rides and attractions. And you can tell that this place does have a bit of lore about it, going all the way down to the guy's 2 kids are here as well. Like, the big boss's 2 kids are there kind of fighting for power and control. Really cool, and a clear reference to Disneyland. There's a letters page in the back that, because this is issue 1, they don't have any letters yet, he used as a sort of introduction, and the introduction was really fun to read. He's like, yeah, this is referencing Disney a whole lot, but it's more in a loving way, he says, because he's like, I'm such a big fan of horror and such a big fan of theme parks, and I always wondered, what if they came together? And you can tell that Williamson has spent a lot of time thinking about this, because it really is fleshed out. And, you know, you look at Disney in real life, there's all these urban legends and myths and, you know, stories surrounding the parks, some of which are true, others of which who knows. But it's really, you know, you can tell that whole sort of theme park mystery thing is in here, and they're just kind of scratching the surface with issue 1, and I am really curious where this goes. So yeah, really just fun, crazy concept that you can't help but getting into. Also, I think this is a little thicker than normal, a pretty thick book. I kind of miss the days where they would put extra size, so many page giant on the front cover, but yeah, this it is worth noting. It's $3.99, but it's definitely both thicker and in page count, but also has a really good cover on it, a thick one. So yeah, overall, a really fun thing to pick up. And, you know, we just started out on this book. It's a bit of, you know, introduction to such a big world, and then something crazy and messed up happens at the end, and you're like, okay, where in the world are we going now? And I am curious how the story will progress, because again, this is just an issue 1, and I really feel like we just touched this world. And yeah, I really am curious, you know, like, the world is interesting, the plot is just getting started, and I really want to know what the plot is going to be about. We just got the hint, the hook, it's reeling us in, and I want to see what issue 2 does. Really am curious about this. But overall, you know, for horror fans, and especially, you know, for theme park fans as well, really amazing stuff in here, and it's just totally fun, you know, the world, seeing the different version, you know, kind of compare and contrast with Disney. It's fun to catch all the little references and stuff. Yeah, I think it was pretty cool, but I guess in order to get to more specifics, let's crack open the book. I'm not going to be doing any major spoilers, but that being said, I want to take a closer look at the art and the story, and make sure you guys have a little bit of an idea as to what this book's about. So without further ado, let's cut to the close-up camera. Alright, here we are, inside the castle, taking a closer look at Dark Ride Issue 1. And let's go ahead and bring this close to the camera. It really is a fun cover. This striking orange really stands out on the shelf really well. But then you look at the image, and he's there in a roller coaster cart with this fun little cartoon character face on it, and it's just shooting up this mud, and you get a devil-like character behind him with big hands reaching out to grab him, and you can see like the flames and stuff coming off his sleeve. Really a fun, energetic cover that gets the point, you know, haunted amusement park really, really well. Super entertaining cover with, again, really bright orange. And I also want to say for production value, this is a thicker cover than normal. It's not just a piece of paper, it's a little bit thicker, and the pages inside are good quality as well, but the ink doesn't come off in my fingers at all, which I really do have to say is a huge plus, especially nowadays. We get the Skybound in the Image logo over here, and on the back, you know, you get the 0111 and rated M for mature, but we also get a unique image on the back of the sort of Mickey Mouse-like character here, and I do want to say, you know, like, a unique image for the book. Also, yeah, that's crazy. $3.99, good quality paper, and there's no ads. Like, this really could have been an ad, but other than a preview for one of Image's other books, there's no ads in this thing as well. So, boy, that is quite the value for $3.99. Let's show you a few more specifics from this book. First, the Like a Tombstone, Here Rest. And we get to see Joshua Williamson as the creator and writer, and Andrei Bressan as the creator and artist, and Adriano Lucas as the colorist, as well as the rest of the credits here. And I do want to flip to the back really quick. The last pages here, so I'm going to be careful to keep that out of frame, but you do get this really nice letters page. There's the statue in the park of the creator of the park's owner, and the character very similar to the Disney World statue, but you get this really nice letters page, and this guy's talking about his love and obsession for amusement parks and how he's wanted to write a book like this for a really long time, and you really do get to feel his passion here. So I really am glad to get a letters page. You know, like I said so many times, you know, media just appears on the comic book shelf, and you're kind of picking it up going, okay, what is this? What's going on here? And I really do like to, you know, have a note about where it comes from. Also, the promise of a letters page is pretty fun. But also, look at this. I love this bonus feature. There's, this is a page in the comic as well, but it's the Devil Land map, and we get to see all the attractions, and we find out what they are, you know? Like, you know, obviously, there's a guillotine, and I had thought just by looking at this in the comic, but it does confirm that that's one of those rides that goes up and down, but you're on a guillotine blade. There's a Godzilla-like creature there, a car one, the Tunnel of Lovecraft. That was pretty funny. But also, this one, you see the big spiral with the eyeball in it, a little reference to Uzumaki, and you look on the back and it talks about how, yes, Onryo, a dark ride that explores Japanese mythology and body horror. So overall, man, this is a bonus feature you can look at for a long time. They didn't have to throw it in here, but it's so nice that they did. Because, yeah, you do get all those theme park maps, and, yeah, it's just really nice. And we also get, you know, the alternate cover gallery in the back, and I particularly like the Skybound classics, like a Disney old school VHS there. That's pretty fun. And you get the little costume characters telling you the next issue is November 9th. Anyway, without further ado, let's talk a bit about the comic. I'm not going to be doing any major spoilers, but I do want to show you guys some of the art. a few plot points, and, make sure you guys have a basic understanding as to what this is about, but I won't be doing any major spoilers. But right off the bat, the drafting board. The past is in black and white, obviously, and you can see him drafting, and we flip to the next page, and his wife is just yelling at him, going to town, because he got fired, and he's like, oh, I'll find another job, and his wife's like, nobody wants a horror-themed amusement park. No one wants to be scared. Of course you got fired. Why are you obsessed with horror like you were a child or something? And there's this little crystal ball that in a fit of rage he picks up and smashes his wife's head with, and he realizes, oh no, I've just killed my wife, and of course, time to go bury her out in the desert. And you get him digging the shovel, and you see 45 miles away from the Las Vegas Strip, which, if they're trying to sell it, maybe not the best place to bury a body, but he's digging a hole, and he's gonna put his wife in there when he hears a voice, Arthur. So someone's calling him, literally, from the grave. Like, that is just a good visual. Let's talk, coming from an open grave. But he goes, oh, I'm not your wife. Your wife's dead. But I like you. You're creative. Want to make a deal? So yeah, he kills his wife, and some evil otherworldly force is like, you're a pretty fun guy. Let's make a deal. And then we cut to the present day. There's the one without all the text on it. This is how the shot of the park appears in the comics. So yeah, we can tell what deal they made with a theme park guy is they made a horror-themed theme park, which they haven't confirmed, but I'm guessing that this is built where he buried his wife, built a theme park on her grave, And after that, we get this this kid who's our new main character here, and he is just super excited. He's looking at all the rides, he knows about all of them, and he's gotten a job as a low-level janitor, but he is just super happy to be here. He knows all about everything. He's a big horror geek, and we do get to find out a little bit about him. He says that he has to work because his parents are dead, and we get this really kind of out-of-nowhere flashback to him and his sister on a raft, So just kind of all of a sudden, hey, wow, okay, so his parents died in a very, very strange way, but he needs money, so he's working at the park. You get a bit where they go in the underground tunnels and they talk to security about all the crazy things that the park goers do, and in the underground tunnels, they meet who's probably going to be a big set of characters later on. The three mascots, Danny D. Evil is the main Mickey Mouse-like one, and the girl, his boss, says, you don't want that job. The suits smell funny, and all the people that are in them are weirdos who keep to themselves. So I'm thinking there's more going on there. But after that, he does, by chance, bump into one of the kids of the park owner. So the park owner had 2 kids by a second wife, and he talks to him for a minute. What do you want to do at the park? You're a big fan. And, one of the other guys is talking about maybe a family-friendly section would that betray our roots, and they really need, something to get the park going, so they do talk to him for a bit. And my parents are watching Succession right now, so I can't help but think about that, the crazy kids there. But of course the sister shows up, and the kids are Samhain and Halloween there, so you can tell the reference. But they of course have a feud between the two of them, but they have to play nice for the cameras. And yeah, you have to wonder, okay, why are the guy's two kids showing up like this? But anyway, we do cut to later on in the night, and he's, of course, all tired from picking up trash, but he's lost his badge, has to wander out on his own, and someone will call his name, and it's that same red speech bubble. And that's where we get sort of where I'll leave you off. This is the Devil's Due he's being called into, and it's the first ride at the park, supposedly the scariest ride in the world, and he's being called in, and he thinks, okay, this is just some sort of hazing ritual or something, but something's going to be going on in this dark ride, and I think that's where I'll call the line at spoilers. But anyway, a really, really fun book. I definitely enjoyed it, and, I did skim past a lot of the comic, because I want there to be stuff there for when you read it, too. But yeah, there is a whole bunch of world building, trying to figure out what all the rides do, what they're like, and seeing all the references to actual theme parks, actual rides. Like I said, the statue of the founder, really reminiscent of the Walt Disney World statue. So tons of Easter eggs and references and tons of world building. And yeah, the base plot for this one is really simple, meet your kid, meet the boss's kids, and then going with the hook, so I don't know too terribly much about what the story will be about. That's going to be one of the things we see later on, but it does introduce us to such a big and fascinating world that I really do have to wonder, where this is all going and how deep we'll go. This is one of those things that this is a series. I don't know how long it will last, but if we get a bunch of issues, if this runs as long as Nailbiter does, I can definitely see getting in and really learning all about this world as the pieces move around. So that's really fun. And like I said, good production quality on this for only $3.99. That's really great. So yeah, definitely would recommend this. Really fun thing for horror fans, for theme park fans. Pretty cool. Anyway, to everyone who's watched so far, thank you for watching. To everyone who's liked and subscribed, thank you. You really are helping the channel out. I'll leave a relevant playlist on the bottom. This should be, how about my Image Comics playlist? In that playlist, you can find my review for their new Creepshow comic. That one was really fun. As well as my review for the first issue of Nailbiter by the same writer. Anyway, have a good day. I'll see you guys again very, very soon. Image playlist on the bottom. Have a good day now.